Crochet besties, come make this cute little stuffed strawberry with me. This is a beginner friendly tutorial. It's very in-depth for all of my beginners. So if you want to learn how to make this cute stuffed strawberry, stay tuned. Okay, you will need a 2.5mm hook, but the bigger your hook, the bigger your strawberry will be, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a magic ring, okay? The beginner way to make a magic ring is to chain 4. So that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And into this very first stitch, we're going to put a slip stitch. And that creates our magic ring the beginner way. Now we're not going to chain. We're just going to automatically go in our ring and we're going to put 6 single crochet. Oop. So that's 1. Sorry for shaking the camera, you guys. I need a new setup. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So once you've made your 6 single crochet into your ring, what you're going to do is you're going to tighten your circle by pulling your tail from doing the slip knot, and you are going to slip stitch into the very first stitch. So I'm gonna count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to put a slip stitch at my very first stitch that I made. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 single crochet and then an increase. Okay, this is where your stitch marker comes. Okay, so in this first stitch we're going to go ahead and put our 1 single crochet, and then we're going to put a stitch marker there so that we know that is the first stitch that we started with of the round. All right, in the next stitch we're going to put an increase. So an increase is just 2 single crochet in the same stitch. That's all an increase is. All right, and then the next stitch we will put 1 single crochet, and the stitch after that you're going to put 2 single crochet. So that's 1 and that's 2. Next stitch 1 single crochet. Whoop. Got to get my yarn right. And then the next stitch you're going to put 2 single crochet, and that should be your last stitch. At the end of this round you should have 9 stitches. All right, I've made it back to the beginning because my stitch marker is there, so that's how I will know. And I'm not going to slip stitch, I'm just going to go ahead to the next round for round 3. Now for round 3 we're going to do 2 single crochet and increase. Okay, so in the stitch I have my stitch marker at, I'm going to put 1 single crochet there. I got ink all on my thumb. All right, so then we're going to take our stitch marker out and we're going to put it in the stitch that we just created so that we can remember again that that is the first stitch of our row. All right, so in the next stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch we're going to put 2 single crochet. So the pattern for this row is 1, 1, 2. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. In the next single crochet is 2 single crochet in that same stitch. All right, so 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet, next stitch 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And you just repeat that same pattern of 1, 1, 2 until you get back to your stitch marker. Okay, so I'm back at the stitch marker. Now we're going to do another row of the same thing, 2 single crochet and then an increase. I'm going to go where my stitch marker is and put a single crochet. I'm going to take my stitch marker out and put it on the stitch that I just made. And then in the next stitch I'm going to put 1 single crochet, and the stitch after that I will put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And I'm just going to repeat that same pattern like I did the previous row of 1, 1, 2 until I get back to my stitch marker. Okay, I've made it back to my stitch marker. Now for row, I think we're on 5. Row 5, we're going to put 3 single crochet and an increase this time. For row 4, the row that we just did, you should count 16 stitches going around. That's how you know that you're on track with the pattern. Okay. Row 5, 3 single crochet and an increase. So I'm going to go where my stitch marker is. I'm going to put a single crochet there. I'm going to take my stitch marker out and replace it with the stitch that I just made. So that was 1 single crochet. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. That next stitch, we're doing an increase. So again, we're doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase, which means 2 single crochet in the same stitch. At the end of this row, you should have 20 single crochet. All right. Starting row 6, we're going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing that we did at all the other rows. We're going to go into that first stitch with a single crochet. We're going to move our stitch marker up, and then we're going to do 3 more single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then in the next stitch we're going to put an increase, which is 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so again, this row 6 is 4 single crochet and then an increase. At the end of the row, you should have 24 stitches. We are now on row 7. So for row 7, all you're going to do is put 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, all the way back around until you get back to your stitch marker. Again, just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around for this row. All right, I'm done with row 7. I made it back to my stitch marker. Now I'm on row 8, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did for row 7. Just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way back around until you get to your stitch marker. Again, 1 single crochet in each stitch around again. So now we are on row 9, and the pattern is going to change up a little bit because now we need to make our strawberries smaller. Okay, so we're going to start decreasing. So what we're going to do is do 2 single crochet and then a decrease. So I'm going to put 1 single in the next stitch. We're going to put 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do a decrease. So in order to do a decrease, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, and then the stitch after that we're going to insert our hook and pull through. Also, we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, and then we're going to pull through all 3, and that's how you're going to decrease. So you're going to repeat that all for this whole row. 2 single crochet and then a decrease. Okay, for row 10, we're going to put just 1 single crochet in each stitch. And then for this last row, we're going to do 9 decreases. So we're not doing anything but decreasing for this row. We can get rid of this stitch marker and we just decrease. Now it's time to stuff your strawberries. So get your polyfill or your cotton, whatever you decide to use, and just put it in just start stuffing your strawberry with it. All right, and then to close it up, we're going to decrease times 4 and then put a single crochet. So we're going to do 4 decreases. And then a single. And this will be the top of the strawberry. So this tail that you might have from us starting, we're just going to put our hook through and grab it and pull it through our strawberry. We're going to put our strawberry to the side and we're going to grab our stem color, and then we're going to make a magic ring again, and then we're going to put 6 single crochet into the ring like we did when we first started our strawberry. So I'm chaining 4 and I'm slip stitching into the very first stitch, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting my 6 single crochet into my ring. Pull your tail and then slip stitch to the very first single crochet that was made. Okay, so now you have a little circle. Now we're going to chain 4 and start our leaves. So in the first stitch, we're going to skip the first chain, and in the second chain, we're going to put a slip stitch. And then we're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in the next chain and a single crochet into that last chain. And then we're going to slip stitch till we get to our we're going to slip stitch at our base, and then we're going to slip stitch over into the next stitch and do the same thing. Chain 4, skip a stitch. In the second stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch. Next stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, single crochet. Slip stitch at the base, and then slip stitch over to the next stitch. And you repeating this pattern for all 6 stitches will give you 6 leaves. Once you're done with your 6 leaves, chain 1, and you're going to cut a tail maybe like 6 inches, just enough to sew it onto the top of the strawberry. I like to take this tail that we started off with, get my hook again, and push it through the bottom of my strawberry up to the top center and grab that tail. I'm now thinking this could be a potato too. And then from here, you can get your darning needle. And get the 6 inches that you just cut. Put it on the needle and just start sewing it onto your strawberry however you would like it. Remember to cut your tails that you weave through the bottom of your strawberry and lightly puff your strawberry so that it can hide inside. Shape your strawberry, and just an extra, little cute thing, you can add white to make seeds, which I'll do, but I like to take a lighter and just burn the fringe of the yarn, the fringes of the yarn. It just gives a cleaner look to it.